Stop. Put that Korean hangover drink down. You're about to make your hangover worse. I know, it looks legit. It's from Korea. It has a medical-looking bottle. Your friend handed it to you at 2 a.m. and said, "Trust me." But here's what they didn't tell you. Most of these products have doses so low they can't do anything. Some will dehydrate you even more. And one of the most popular ones in all of Korea? It's just caffeine and sugar with a fancy label. Today I'm ranking the 5 worst Korean hangover products you can buy right now. And I'm showing you what to grab instead. All Korean. All stuff you can find at H-Mart or online. All backed by something more than a shelf display. Let's get into it. Here's something most Americans don't know. Korea drinks more hard liquor per person than almost any other country on Earth. More than Russia. More than the US. More than pretty much anywhere. So what happens when a whole country drinks that much? A billion-dollar industry shows up to sell them the cure. Walk into any CU or GS25, Korea's version of 7-Eleven, but actually good, and you'll see a whole section just for hangover products. Drinks, soups, patches, pills, little bottles with serious-looking labels. And now, that stuff is showing up here. H-Mart carries it, Amazon sells it, Korean restaurants have it at the register, Americans are buying it, and most of them have no idea what's actually inside. That's what this video is about. I've spent weeks going through ingredient labels, hangover studies, and talking to people who know Korean food and medicine. What I found surprised me. Now, before we start, this is not a video about Korean culture being wrong. Korean food and drink culture is incredible. The food is world-class. The drinking culture is fun and social. None of that is the problem. The problem is the marketing, the gap between what these products promise and what they actually do. One more thing. The real hangover cure? Time, water, sleep. That's it. I'll say it once. But since you're already feeling rough, let's talk about what actually helps versus what just takes your money. Here are the 5 worst offenders. Number 1. Generic Korean hangover drinks. The $2 magic bottle that's just glorified sugar water. Okay, these are the ones you've probably already seen. Tiny bottles. Medical-looking labels. The kind that seem like they're doing something just by existing. The big names are Condition. That's Condition, made by CJ Cheiljedong. Number 1 hangover drink in Korea for over 30 years. Then there's Morning Care by Dongkook Pharmaceutical, marketed to office workers who need to function the next morning. Haejangguk by Kook-sundong, which leans into the soup angle. And RU:/SH, the newer, flashier one for the younger crowd. You can find these at H-Mart right now. Some are on Amazon. They look completely official. So here's the question. Why are they on the worst list? Let's look at what's actually inside. The main ingredient they all advertise is called Hovenia dulcis, also known as Oriental Raisin Tree Extract. Real research exists on this. It does have some liver protective properties. Here's the catch. The studies that showed a benefit used 1,000 milligrams or more. Condition has 280 milligrams per bottle. That's like taking 1 aspirin for a broken leg. Right medicine. Wrong dose. Nothing happens. The rest is vitamin B, taurine, and sugar. Sounds healthy, but in these amounts, they're not fixing your hangover. They're flavoring your water. And here's the part that makes it worse. That little bit of sugar and caffeine makes you feel better for about an hour. Not because your body is recovering, because you drank some sugar water after a night out. Your brain perks up. You think the product worked. It didn't. You just hydrated a little and had a mini sugar rush. These drinks aren't dangerous. They're just not doing what they say. And at $3 to $5 a bottle at H-Mart, that adds up fast. Okay, so the drinks are overhyped. But what about the famous Korean hangover soup? Surely real food beats a mystery bottle, right? Well, it depends entirely on which soup and how it was made. Number 2. Instant Haejangguk. Why the packaged version of Korea's most famous hangover food is a trap. Say the word Haejangguk to any Korean person and watch their face change. This is sacred stuff. Haejangguk, literally soup to chase a hangover. is a real part of Korean food culture. And the real, fresh version? Actually good for you, genuinely. Fresh Haejangguk from hours of simmering bone broth, real vegetables, fermented ingredients, slow-cooked collagen, gives your body electrolytes, easy protein, and hydration all at once. It's one of the best hangover foods in the world. The key word there is fresh, because here's what Americans are actually buying. Ottogi Haejangguk, microwavable pouch, sold at H-Mart and Amazon. Nearly 1,700 milligrams of sodium per serving. Nongshim Sundubu Jjigae, often bought as a recovery food. Almost 1,900 milligrams of sodium. CJ Haechandle hangover soup pouches, microwavable, marketed to busy people who want a quick fix. And then there's Paldo Haejangguk Ramyun, a ramen version of hangover soup. Instant noodle sodium plus hangover soup sodium. Genuinely impressive in the wrong direction. So why does sodium matter so much? When you drink alcohol, your body pushes out water. That's why you make so many bathroom trips on a night out. You wake up dehydrated. That dehydration is causing most of what you feel. The headache, the foggy brain, the general misery. Now, to rehydrate, your body needs water to move into your cells. But very high sodium pulls water out of your cells. So when you eat 1,700 milligrams of sodium on an already dehydrated hangover body, you are working against yourself. You think you're doing the right thing. You're making it worse. All right, skip the packet soup. But what about the stuff wellness influencers keep posting? The patches? The IV drips? Those look way more serious. Something that medical-looking must work better, right? Oh, friend. Number 3. Hangover patches and topical products. Slapping a sticker on your arm won't sober up your liver. This is a hangover patch. It is a sticker. A very expensive, very cute sticker. The two you'll see most when shopping Korean wellness products are the Withinus hangover patch and the BeWell hangover patch. Both Korean-made, both exported to the US, both sold with clean K-beauty packaging. Both claim to deliver B vitamins and herbal extracts through your skin. Scientists call this transdermal delivery. The idea is that your body absorbs them faster than a drink. That sounds advanced. Here's why it doesn't work. Transdermal delivery is real. It works for certain things. Nicotine patches work. Hormone patches work. Pain relief patches work. Those use small molecules that can pass through your skin. B vitamins are different. They're water-based. They're larger molecules. And your skin is designed to keep things like that out. That's literally one of skin's main jobs. It's a barrier. So when you put a B vitamin patch on your arm, the vitamin just sits on the surface. Your skin says nope. The vitamin goes nowhere. Patches don't work. Instant soup is just salt water. Now let's talk about the ones that actually make you feel better, which is almost more dangerous. Because at least the ones that do nothing, you know something's wrong. These next ones, they trick you completely. Number 4, high caffeine health tonic. Hangover drinks, the ones that make you feel great for 90 minutes, then destroy you. This one is special. This is Bacchus-D, made by Dong-Ah Pharmaceutical, sold in Korea since 1963, 60-plus years. A genuine Korean cultural institution, and it will wreck your hangover recovery. Then there's Vita 500 by Kwangdong, vitamin C plus caffeine. A morning-after staple for a lot of Koreans. And TNT energy drink, which you'll find on Amazon with wellness-sounding herbal branding that makes it seem gentler than it is. Quick note before we go further, Pocari Sweat sits on the same shelf. I want to be clear, Pocari Sweat is not on the bad list. It's actually one of the good ones, and we'll get there. Confused shoppers sometimes group it with the energy tonics. It's not an energy drink. It's a proper electrolyte drink. Completely different product. Back to the problem. Here's the best way to explain what caffeine does to a hangover. You know the check engine light on your car dashboard? Imagine your hangover is the engine problem. Caffeine is a piece of tape over the warning light. You can't see the light anymore. The problem feels gone. You feel alert. You think you're fine. You go to brunch. Maybe you have a drink because, hey, you feel okay. Then 2 p.m. arrives. And you are completely flattened because the engine problem was running the whole time. You just couldn't see the warning. That's caffeine on a hangover. Here's why. Alcohol already drained a lot of your fluids. You're dehydrated. Caffeine is a mild diuretic. It pushes out even more fluid. So at the exact moment your body is trying to hold on to water, you're giving it something that tells it to let go of more. At the same time, caffeine blocks a brain chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is what makes you feel tired. Block it, and you feel awake. But the headache, the nausea, the aching body, those aren't caused by adenosine. They're still running in the background. You just can't feel them as loudly over the caffeine buzz. Bacchus-D has around 30 milligrams of caffeine. Vita 500 has more. Hot 6X is close to 60, not huge doses. But on a dehydrated, inflamed hangover body, they're enough to extend the problem while making you think you solved it. Okay, last one. This one is a little controversial, because this last cure isn't a product. It's a tradition, and a lot of people are going to push back on this. Number 5, drinking more alcohol. Yes, some people really recommend more soju. Here's why that's a problem. You had a big night, soju, somak. That's the soju and beer bomb combo. Maybe some Chum Churum because it's sweeter and goes down easier. And now your Korean friend slides a shot of Jinro Chamisul across the table at lunch and says, just one, it'll help. Or maybe you spot a can of Jinro grapefruit soju at H-Mart. Only 3% alcohol. Basically juice. What's the harm? This is called hair of the dog. It's everywhere in Korean drinking culture. Just like it's everywhere in Western drinking culture. The idea is that a small amount of alcohol takes the edge off the hangover and helps you function. And here's the uncomfortable truth. There's a tiny sliver of science that makes this seem reasonable. When your body processes alcohol, it also processes small amounts of methanol, a toxic compound found in trace amounts in most drinks. Your liver converts methanol into formaldehyde. That formaldehyde causes some of the worst hangover symptoms. Regular drinking alcohol actually competes with methanol for the same liver process. So drinking more temporarily slows down that conversion. For about an hour, you feel genuinely better. But here's what's actually happening. You didn't cure anything. You delayed it. Your liver still has to process all of it. The methanol is still in your system. The formaldehyde is still coming. You just pushed the timeline back while adding more alcohol on top. What feels like getting better is just your body being mildly re-intoxicated. That's it. All right, all 5 down. The underdose drinks, the sodium bomb instant soup, the cute but useless patches, the caffeine masquerade, and the spiral that pretends to be a cure. Now, here's what actually helps, and everything I'm about to tell you, still Korean. Let's fix your morning. Alternative number 1. Real Haejangguk from an actual restaurant. We already covered why the instant version is a trap. So let's talk about why the real thing is actually great. Fresh Haejangguk, slow-cooked bone broth, real vegetables, fermented ingredients, gives you collagen, electrolytes, easy protein, and real hydration. Your gut is already inflamed from alcohol. Slow-cooked broth is one of the gentlest, most useful things you can put into it. The question for Americans is where to find it. BCD Tofu House has locations across the U.S. and serves Sundubu Jjigae, soft tofu stew, which delivers similar benefits. Rich broth, easy protein, gentle on the stomach. Hangari Bajirak Kalguksu, if you're near a location, serves clam-based broth which is especially mineral-rich. But here's the real tip. Find the Korean restaurants in your city that open before 8 a.m. Those places exist specifically for people who need Haejangguk in the morning. That's where you want to be. Alternative number 2. Kongnamul-guk. Soybean sprout. Soup. Most Americans have never heard of this one. That's a mistake. Kongnamul-guk is a simple soybean sprout soup. Clear broth. Mild flavor. And soybean sprouts contain something called asparagine, an amino acid that helps your body break down acetaldehyde. Here's why that matters. When your liver processes alcohol, it converts it to acetaldehyde first. Acetaldehyde is toxic. It causes the nausea, the flushing, the pounding head. Asparagine helps clear it out. This isn't just comfort food. There's a real reason it works. CJ Pulmuone and BeWell all sell soybean sprout packs at H-Mart and Zion Market. Buy them fresh, not canned, not instant. Blanch the sprouts. Season with garlic, soy sauce, sesame oil. Done in 15 minutes. This is one of the most useful things you can do the morning after. And almost nobody outside of Korea knows about it. Alternative number 3. Pocari Sweat. The one Korean drink that actually works. Remember when I said Pocari Sweat wasn't on the bad list? Here's why. Pocari Sweat, Pocari Sweatu, is made by Dong-A Pharmaceutical. Yes, the same company that makes Bacchus-D, the one on the worst list. Same company, completely different product. Pocari Sweat is isotonic. That means the concentration of minerals in the drink is close to the concentration of minerals in your blood. So your body absorbs it fast. It doesn't fight your cells. It works with them. That's the opposite of a sodium bomb soup. That's the opposite of a caffeine hit. That's just actual rehydration. It's available at H-Mart and most Korean grocery stores in the US. Lotte Chilsung's toning water is another solid Korean option for the same purpose. Here's the most important thing in this entire video. If you can only do one thing before you sleep after a night of soju, grab a Pocari Sweat, not condition, not Bacchus-D, not a patch. Just this. Alternative number 4. Eat Korean food during the night, not after. This one changes how you think about the whole thing. The best hangover prevention isn't something you buy the next morning. It's the Korean BBQ table itself. Gyeran mali, the Korean rolled omelet. Sundubu Jjigae served alongside your meat. The banchan side dishes of vegetables and fermented foods. All of these are high in cysteine, an amino acid your liver uses to break down acetaldehyde. Eating during the meal slows alcohol absorption. It gives your liver what it needs to work properly. It sets you up for a much better morning. Korean food culture already figured this out. The meal is built around drinking in a way that naturally protects you. The problem is, most people eat the food and ignore it. They're focused on the next round of soju. Pay attention to the table. If you want a supplement option, Dong-A Pharmaceuticals Hepatitin contains cysteine and silymarin, sold at Korean pharmacies and increasingly at H-Mart supplement sections. A far more honest product from the same company that makes Bacchus-D worth knowing about. Here's what you do after this video. Go to H-Mart. Skip the hangover drink shelf. Walk past the instant soup. Go straight to Pocari Sweat. Grab soybean sprouts while you're there. That's your new hangover kit. 2 items. Both Korean. Both actually work. And if you're going out soon, eat the banchan, eat the eggs, eat during the meal, not after. That's the whole strategy. No fluff, no expensive patches, no tiny bottles that don't work. If this was useful, subscribe and hit the like button. It helps more people find real information instead of marketing hype. And drop a comment below. Have you tried any of these products? Did they work for you? I want to know. Especially if you've got a Korean hangover cure I didn't cover. Someone in the comments always knows something I don't. See you in the next one.